Do you know what your limiting beliefs are costing you? We think that they don't cost us much. We think that they're truths. We think that we have to hold on to these limiting beliefs. Well, friend, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That these limiting beliefs, these blocks, these lies that our brains are using to keep us safe instead of successful are actually costing us a lot more than you think. Welcome to the Full Weight of Joy podcast. My name is Tami, and I am so excited to be with you here today. I can't wait to share what I have today because I know that this has been life-changing for me. I know that this has been life-changing for my friends, for my kids, for my clients. And I know that it can be life-changing for you because our limiting beliefs are costing us limitless potential. And so I'm going to do over the next probably a couple of months, I'm going to spread these out a little bit, but I'm going to talk to you about what our limiting beliefs are and how to move it from limiting belief to that limitless potential that God's really placed in our heart. And so today I just want to talk to you about what the blocks are costing us. And I want you to think about, so picture a garden, right? The most beautiful garden you could imagine. Now I want you to think about the fact that how many seeds and how many plants are there? There's thousands. Every time you see one, it's typically multiple, right? There's so much in there. Well, what if the gardener decided to put little invisible fences around every seed that they planted? What do you think that garden would look like? Well, friend, that is what we are doing to our brains. We are putting little invisible fences around our thoughts, around our capabilities, around what we know we're called to do to protect ourselves. And it's costing us big time. And so let's dive into what these blocks are. I have a little fun acrostic that I came up with that I think is going to be a good way to walk you through the steps and to just show you what we can do in order to rewire them, because we don't have to keep those invincible fences. We can pull them down. We can throw them out. We can remove the blocks that are no longer serving us. We can be grateful that they served us once. They may have kept us out of trouble. They may have kept us from making a wrong turn. They may have kept us on the path of safety. But friends, do you want to live a safe life, or do you want to live the life God called you to live? Because I know that safety is not enough for me. And I know, and I say safety, and I'm talking about safety in the mindset of not growing, the safety in status quo, safety in staying where you are, staying stuck, and not becoming who God called us to be. And so, first of all, let's talk about what is a limiting belief. It's a self-imposed rule that constrains our potential. Self-imposed. And I've already mentioned multiple times that beliefs that we hold don't have to be true. That a belief is a thought paired with emotion, thought over time. There's nowhere in there does it say that every belief is true or every thought you think is true. How many times have we thought something and then and we find out 2 seconds later, we're that's a lie. Why did I even think that? I mean, even let's look at, the earth is flat. If you look at the earth, it looks flat, but we know from science that it's not. We know from evidence that it's not. So just because it looks like it doesn't mean that it actually is. And our limiting beliefs are like that. Just because it looks like it's true doesn't mean that there's facts to back that up. And let me caveat there that whatever you focus on grows. So if you focus on the limiting belief and trying to prove that right, you will. You'll prove yourself right every time. But if you look at the evidence and at the truth and look at where it came from and look at these beliefs you hold and you find evidence against the belief, you will find that. So it's a decision that you have to make of, am I going to look for what the truth is, or am I going to look for evidence to keep me blocked? So let's dive in here, because I'm just excited to share this because I know that you have so much to offer. we get to the ceiling. We get to this place where we're like, I know there's more, but I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows. But the thing is that when we get down to it, when we start asking our heart of hearts, when we get quiet and we ask the Lord, when we are in that silence and solitude and that rest state, we do actually know. And so that's what I love helping you discover is, what do you already know to be true? And where can we dive into there more? So let's talk about blocks. So this is the acrostic that I came up with, is blocks. So belief identification. Recognize your current limiting thoughts. The only way to do this is to think about what you're thinking about. Think about when you think about because we have thousands of thoughts every day, millions probably. Like we make 10,000 decisions or something crazy. And of course, our brain does a lot of those subconsciously. Not even knowing what direction, like we just let it go naturally. Like our brains have it on autopilot and we just go. But if we start to understand, if we start to like identify what our beliefs are, then we can start sorting them with, okay, what is true? What is not? What is serving us? What is not? What do we want to keep? What do we want to get rid of? We can really understand what our thoughts are doing for us. And so recognizing our limiting thoughts, our limiting beliefs, is just simply asking yourself, what did I just think about that? What was that thought that I just had? And write it down. I had a client who she did not want to write down her limiting beliefs because she's like, well, there's no point in it. I just want to reframe it. And there's positivity in it. And it's very valiant. And if we don't actually look at the blocks that are stopping us, how can we remove them? If you hit a roadblock and you don't know whether it's a giant tree, a herd of goats, or water if you don't know what's actually blocking it, you don't know what to bring in to remove it. So let's look at what the beliefs are and do it with a kind, gentle, non-judgmental curiosity spirit versus, looking at it and being like, you're right, you aren't good enough. All right. So B is belief identification. L is listening to your inner dialogue. So again, we're listening to what our thoughts are. They are going to scare you a little bit. I know that mine scare me. I have my ANT journal, my automatic negative thought journal, and I don't have my name on it. I don't even, it's typically I'll write I'll change my handwriting or something. I don't know why. I do funky things in it because I know that these are lies that I put in here, and I don't want other people to see or notice, or I don't want them. I definitely don't want other people to look at them. So the listening to your inner dialogue, we start to become aware, because what we don't know, we can't change. What we don't recognize, I've learned over time that what I don't know harms me more than the things that I do know. I don't know what I don't know, which when we start to figure out what we don't know in a situation, that's where the answers really come. And so same thing with your limiting beliefs is when you start to listen to your inner dialogue, you start to become aware of what's really going on. So the O is origins understanding. Now, this one is, we kind of follow it back. Like, you don't need to know exactly where the first time you had this thought was. But if you start looking at the beliefs and asking yourself, how else has this belief shown up in my life? A lot of times we can understand and we see that it actually wasn't from us in the first place. Like, our brain caught it from someone else who had a similar belief, or who was vocal about some of the things that they believed. They would talk about it. You can see a lot of this around money and success and wealth. And so when we start to look at where the origin is, we realize that it's not from us. It's not, and if it's not from us, if it's not from God, if it's not, then it's most likely not true. When we start looking at the fact that, and removing it from ourselves, and we can look at it pragmatically, we can look at it logically, we can look at it from a non-judgmental, because it's not our who we are. It happens to be a belief that we hold. And so we can trace them back, and then now will help us step away from them and separate that from our inner identity. Okay. The next one is consequence assessment. This one is huge. What is it costing you? And in a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about some common blocks and some of the, like, what it's costing, the things that you don't even realize that it's costing you. And so this understanding the consequences, evaluate the impact it has. Has it stopped you from getting a promotion? Has it stopped you from writing a book? Has it stopped you from writing music? Has it stopped you from traveling? Has it stopped you from making a new friend? Has it stopped you? Like, what is it doing to stop your life? Where are you? And again, we're looking at this. I like to like the safety. It's keeping you alive versus keeping you successful, allowing success in your life. So what is this? Is it stopping you from getting this fulfillment, this peace, this joy that you want simply because you don't believe, well, I'm deserving, because I don't believe that you don't know the things I've done. I don't deserve happiness. Okay, friend, that is a lie. So let's look at what is really costing you. Is it costing you a life that you know in your heart you're meant to live? Okay, so the next one so we're at B is belief identification, L is listening to your inner dialogue, O is origins understanding, C is consequence assessment, K is knowledge integration. This one's the fun one. This is where you get to make a very important decision. This is where you're going to decide, am I going to look for evidence that this belief is true? Because again, if you want to believe it, your brain will find the evidence. You are right. Either way, you're going to be right. So which right do you want to be? And so gather evidence that challenges the belief. Challenge that belief that you don't deserve it, or that because of the choices you made, you don't need happiness. Challenge it. And this is where you go and get help if you need help challenging it. If this is not something, because I know a lot of times this doesn't come naturally to everyone. And sometimes these beliefs are so tight, so strong in our hearts that we don't see the different perspective, or we don't see how it's a lie. But that's why this is one of the biggest choices you can make, is you get to decide if you're going to hold on to this and keep those consequences, or if you're going to do the work to remove it, even if your brain doesn't believe it yet. So I need you to be brave on this, in this line, this knowledge integration, and gather the evidence that challenges the belief, and get some help if you need to. And then the S of blocks is to shift and transform. We get to see that those challenges, we get to see what's true, and we get to decide that that's the direction we want our lives to go in. We get to decide that just because of mistakes we made, or the opportunities we didn't take in the past because of fear, we get to decide that that's not who we are anymore. I love working with purpose and identity, because we get to choose who we're going to be every moment. Like, we get to decide, like, if you want more joy in your life, you can decide today that I'm going to start taking the steps to be more joyful. If you want more happiness, you can take those steps. If you want to be stronger, you can go to the gym, you can go on a walk, you can, you make these declarations, you decide today, and the power of decisions are right there for you. But you have to be brave and make them. And so let's talk about some common blocks. Okay. The worthiness beliefs of, I don't deserve happiness. I don't deserve success. I don't deserve a family. I don't deserve a promotion. Like, there's the worthiness belief. There's the capability. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. So all of these beliefs are things that we can challenge, because I guarantee there's things in your life that this capability is, like, look at different ways that you have overcome obstacles, challenges, that look at different ways that you have stood up when people didn't think you could, or you didn't think you could. What have you overcome in your life? Because that right there, friend, is what helps you become capable. No one's fully capable of doing something before they do it for the first time. Like, no one is. You may have some natural ability, you may have some natural talent, but there's a cultivation there. There's that gardening that you have to grow it and strengthen it. It's a muscle, not a not a bone. There you go. I mean, you can grow bones, right? So I don't know. I should have thought of a analogy for that. Possibility beliefs. It's too late for me. I'm too young. I'm too old. I weigh too much. I don't know, like there's so many, like what are the possibility beliefs that you hold that are stopping you? And then the identity beliefs. It's not who I am. People don't people like me don't XYZ. Okay, let's put it out there. Like I am super white. I do not tan. Okay. Like my skin is blinding white. And I used to not wear shorts. I used to not wear skirts. I would dress in like sweatpants or jeans all summer, even in the southern heat, simply because I believe that I'm just too white to wear those clothes. How does that have anything to do with my identity, friends? Like I truly believed that. And so I changed it. I was like, no, I want to wear dresses and skirts. One, because they're super comfortable and a lot of them have pockets now. So I shifted and I realized that, okay, well, if people, if they're going to be blinded by my legs, they can wear sunglasses, and let me tell you, people don't pay attention to me. They pay attention to themselves, really. It's not about us. So all of these, and I know that that is a surface level identity belief. Some of the beliefs that I've held before is that I have nothing to say. And here I am on 270 plus podcasts, and I'm about to hit 45,000 downloads. Okay, well, I truly believe that no one wanted to hear anything from me. And then God said, do it anyway. God said, I called you to speak. What did he call you to do? That's your identity, friend, who he says you are, not what your beliefs are stopping you from. So what is this costing you? I just want to talk about this for a minute. I'll leave you on a high note, but I just want to dive in here for just a few minutes about what it is costing for you to hold on to these limiting beliefs. Because stepping away from limiting beliefs and stepping into limitless potential is really what we're called to do. And so there's financial impact, missed opportunities, self-sabotage. We overspend, we underspend, there's so much financial decisions we make based out of fear. And fear of lack, fear of we might not have it later, fear of I don't know what to do, so I need comfort. Like there is a lot there. Then there's the emotional toll, chronic stress. Are you in pain? Did you know that our body can hold on to beliefs and it causes us like physical pain? Our thoughts can cause us physical pain. And I have a guest who I just interviewed yesterday for the podcast, and her episode will drop probably early January, but she talks about this and how her migraines were actually from some beliefs that she was holding that she needed to release, and how when she did that, she was pain-free. And there's a lot of other stories in there, but our thoughts, our beliefs can really take an emotional toll, which takes a physical toll as well. And so this chronic stress, and I've talked about this a couple of times, imposter syndrome, that friend, these old lies, these beliefs we are deciding to hold on to are causing the imposter syndrome. And I already said, imposter syndrome is a call for clarity. It's because you are capable, but you feel like you're not, that you have it. The next is relationships. Oh, this is a big one. And this one's one that you're going to take some time. It's going to take some time to unpack, because if we are not being our true authentic self, and limiting beliefs stop you from authenticity that you crave, that authenticity that you really are searching for, those limiting beliefs that are lies, that are self-imposed constrictions, are costing you relationships. Because there's someone you can feel when someone is holding something back, or when they don't see their genius. And sometimes you get to the point where you can't help them, where they complain all the time instead of seeing how amazing they are. And so, friend, it is costing you relationships. It's costing you relationships with your kids, with your spouse, with your friends, colleagues. It's costing you relationships. Career consequences, playing small, avoiding risks. That promotion that should be yours, that business that you should be, that you know is in your heart, it's costing you those simply because of a belief that you hold that is a lie. Are you willing to say, okay, well, what stops you? Oh, I thought I wasn't good enough, so I just decided that wasn't. No, like if your child said, Mom, I'm not going to go for the soccer team because I know I'm not good enough to even make it to the bench. What would you tell them? You would ask them, do you want to be on that soccer team? Well, what do we need to do to get you on there? Because I know that you're capable of it. Well, friend, so are you. Okay. We can't let this playing small, these beliefs stop our career consequences, our purpose. When you're choosing to keep the limiting belief, you are choosing to tell God that what He has planned for you is not good enough, that He was wrong, and that the good works that He planned in advance for you to do that you're not going to do it. How does that feel? Just even like it makes me feel icky just saying that because I know it's not true. So what can we do? Because these limiting beliefs are costing us. They're costing us our joy, our fulfillment, our peace, our success. It's costing us the life that God's had planned for us all along. So I want you to look at that blocks framework. I want you to go, and I have it in the show notes so you can look at that again. But I want you to go through that, and I want you to just pick one belief to start challenging. And I want you to just spend time and curiosity and every time you think, and one way to know if it's a belief or not is like, I can't, I never, I'm not good enough. Like those, write it out, be brave, write it out. No one ever died from writing a false statement. Like you're not going to physically die right there. Okay. So write it out. And then I want you to challenge it. Spend 5 minutes for the next 3 days. Challenge that one belief. And then get to decide, is it something you want to hold on to? Okay, friends, I know that 2025 is going to be our year. I don't think I've ever been as excited and settled into heading into a new year. I'm excited. I have a theme for this year coming up. I can't wait to unveil it. I have a word that I'm going to, that my word of the year, and then my theme of the year that I'm just super excited to share with you. And but you're going to have to wait because it's going to be in a couple weeks. But it's coming. I promise. But I want you to not bring these limiting beliefs with you into the new year. I want you to decide today that no matter how hard, quote unquote, it's going to be, that you're willing to step out of it, that you're willing to challenge it truthfully, challenge it with evidence, and then decide a different way. And I want to help you with that. If you are interested in removing these blocks and you want them gone really quickly, get on my calendar and let's just see what's possible. This free call, there's no obligation. By signing up and showing up to the call, I am not signing you up for anything except for identifying these beliefs, and let me guide you on how they are not true and how they are holding you back. Do you know where it's holding you back? Let's figure that out too. All right, friend, get on my calendar and stay tuned because we got some exciting things happening in the coaching world, in the Align and Shine world. And I have so many things that I'm so tired of seeing people who want help, who can't get it, who haven't gotten it, who want to make changes. And so I wanted to make it really easy for you to make changes. And so that is what is coming in 2025. And if you want information on it, get on my calendar and let's talk. All right, friend, with that, I will talk to you soon. Choose joy until joy chooses you. And let's do this together. All right, bye for now.